we'll block this out.
Set the guide to the width of the material, which is easy enough. Next we set the feed roll pressure for the in-feed pull roll. This particular material is 1/8 of an inch. Set the out-feed pull roll. Material that's 1/8 of an inch. And all the other settings are done on the screen. First thing we see is that the ESOP safety relay is off, which means that one of the guards had been opened. We push the blue reset button, which resets it. Now the machine is ready to run. First thing we do is we home the machine. This is only done once a day when the power is restored. The head automatically goes to its base position and then runs to its home position on the Y-axis. Once it achieves home position, it will reset to its start position. The machine's ready to run. The particular die that we're running is 2.5 by 7 inches. So the X dimension, which is the through dimension, is 2.5 inches. The Y dimension, which is the cross material dimension, is 7 inches. We want 1/2 inch of trim on the X and 1/2 inch of trim on the Y, which is the lead trim and the edge trim. The trim between cuts is 1/2 inch. The material width is 20 inches that we put on the feed table. The rule height is 2 inches. The top die position, because the material is so thin, is 2.5 inches. And the die bottom position for cutting is 1.7 inches because we have already run this material in the past. So, once the setup is ready, all we have to do is push Start Auto. The head returns to start position for this particular product. The feed rollers are turning, waiting for material to be entered into the machine. We insert the material into the machine. Indexes to the first cut position, and the cut operates. The machine automatically compensates for the width of the material, so it knows that based on the width of the material and the width of the die, it can make 2 operations across the web. So it calculates that, makes each operation, indexes forward, makes the next step of operations, and continues on until the photo eye clears or the machine is stopped. Functions a pause operation. We simply press the pause button, which pauses the operation at the point that we push the pause button. To restore, simply hit Start Auto. The machine restores in the exact same position it stopped in. Show this. Change the height, yes. The up position all adjustments can be made on the fly. So the top die position can go from 2 to 2.5 to 3.5 inches. Will take effect on the next operation. See that it went up. Has no effect on the down position, but can then be changed on On the next operation, it changes it during the next full operation.
So basically, from there, she just runs. So how would we save this job then?
Once the machine is running properly, you go to the setup screen. You give this a file name, which is part 2. Say enter and say save the file. Files are saved alphanumerically so that this can be recalled again. To give an example, if we use the gray foam and we read the file, you can see that the variables have changed for that particular product. To go back to the one we just ran, we say part 2, read the file, and we're back to 2.5.7.5.5.520 to 2.5 1.7. Simply going back to the main screen populates the screen. Pressing Start Auto starts the process over again.
And that's all she wrote?
All inputs are monitored on the screen so that you can see the status of any inputs. As you can see, the leading edge photo eye is made because there's still product in the machine. If the product were clear, that light would be off. We also have the ability to manually control the cutting head, both vertical position and cross position. We can jog the axes both through material and across material, and all system variables are password protected for safety so that incorrect data cannot be entered by the operator. Okay, so we have run a narrow web material. Now we're going to go to a large material, which is 49 inches wide. Well, the feed rolls have now been set. All we have to do to change the setup, and as you can see, this is the box the material we were running before, which is 2.5 by 7 die. This green material we've run in the past, so we're going to go over to our setup screen. We're going to select our green material. We're going to read our file. All of the data changes. We go back to the main run screen. All the data is where it belongs. All we simply have to do is press Start Auto. Actually, we have to reset the ESOP relay because the guard had been opened. Start Auto. The head goes up to its base position, moves over to its proper start position. The feed rollers are turning, waiting on material. We simply introduce the material to the machine, reads the photo line, makes its initial set, and moves to position. One of the differences with this machine is instead of using pressure as a cutting application, we actually use position. So we're actually telling the die how deep to go into the material to cut properly. It automatically compensates for the pressure required for the setting that we have asked for. This particular product makes 3 moves before it reverses direction. Automatically calculating the width of the material, determining how many actual good parts can be made, and making that many good parts. Now made 6 parts. Going to index again. A 7th part. An 8th part. A 9th part. At this point, we're going to pause the operation. We're going to stop the machine. We're going to clear the machine. We simply push a button. It asks if we're sure we want to clear the machine. We say yes. The head moves up to its safe position, and it indexes the material out until it's completely out of the machine. We can see the parts that have been made. Simple as that.
And there you go.